Hello everyone, this is a solution for number 14 on the test 3 review, and it's a little bit of an unusual question. I hope that it's not a curveball for you guys, but we're going to actually be using a table on this one. Let's just understand though what it's talking about first of all. It says let t0 be a specific value of t, and t, what it's talking about is that thing that we saw before. Oh wow, it's hard to draw it whenever my hand is the wrong way. There's that thing called students' t distribution, and that is what we're talking about here when it's talking about values of t, just like you might expect to talk about values of z, where it's understood that z is a z-score. In this case, where it's just talking about t, it's talking about these t values from a t distribution. And we learned some characteristics of a t distribution, but one thing that we should know for sure is that the mean of a t distribution is 0, and it's essentially normal, it's bell-shaped at least, and it's symmetrical around 0. So we will be using that fact that this distribution is symmetrical. Now it says find t0 such that this statement is true, and the statement says that the probability that t is less than or equal to t0 is 0.05. And since this is a probability distribution, we are looking for the probability that t is less than t0. So if t0 is a particular value like this, the probability that t is less than that should be the area in this tail, and we want that probability to be 0.05. That's what it means. The probability that t is less than or equal to t0 is 0.05. It means that the area in the left tail to the left of t0 is 0.05. So what we need is a table, and I have the table up here for you guys. This is the table that we're looking at. It's a t distribution, and it's giving us the area in the right tail. We should notice that one. This table, it's in the textbook, and I can't remember if it's in the formula chart, but I'll take a look at that one. But for sure you can find this in the appendix in the back of your textbook, and I just have it pulled up here on my math lab. But here it shows us degrees of freedom going down this left side, and then up top it's showing us the area in the right tail. Now in our case, of course, we want the area in the left tail to be 0.05, but if we find the correct t value such that the area to the right of the tail is 0.05, this will also be the same t value, but this one will be the positive version, and then this will be just the negative version of that same value. So if this one's 1, this one will be -1, and so forth. So the table actually will provide us with this one because it talks about the right tail. And then the problem also, you notice it talks about df, that means the degrees of freedom is 20. So we need to find the degrees of freedom to be 20, which is here, going down this column. So we're looking all along the bottom of this particular blue block here, and we want the area to the right to be 0.05, which is here, and those come together here on this value, 1.725. So 1.725 is this value. That's the t-score that has area to the right of 0.05. We want the one with the area to the left to be 0.05 because we have this kind of less than or equal to situation. So we just want it to be the negative version of this because it's the t distribution is symmetrical. So it should be -1.725 is the t value on this side, -1.725. That's this t0. So that should be answer choice A.